So we have Hinduism in 4 words: Karma Yoga, Karma Bhakti Raja. And then the fourth is Jnana or Gyan Yoga. That's enlightenment. And this is both the outer study of our Shastras and scriptures, of which we have many. Remember, we're not people of the book, really. We're people of the look as we go in. We have many, many books, and we can use them or not. You don't think yogis take a whole library of books into the forest, do you? They open the book inside of themselves, which we all must do. Also, the outer books are okay. So this is Gyan Yoga, the outer and the inner study. So Hindu Dharma in 4 words: Karma Bhakti Raja Jnana. See how this works? You can go just from a simple one word or have an in-depth discussion with someone who's really interested. Okay, now Hinduism in 5 words. Saiva, Vaishnava, Shakta, Smarta, Nastika. Ooh. In the Hindu Yoga Dharma, we have basically 3 sampradayas or sects: Saiva, Vaishnava, Shakta. Listen to or watch our video on We Are a Hindu Family to go more into this and the important understanding of the Nat principle, where we realize our religion is a way, not the way, and not a fundamentalist universalist no way or always. And even within any specific religion, such as Hinduism, our sampradaya is a way. It's not the way. Right? We want to be a united Hindu family. Saiva, Vaishnava, Shakti, the 3. So let us live in harmony. Follow the Dharma, plant your yoga tree. Right? Karma Bhakti Rajayani. This is Hindu Dharma. Om Shanti. So, obviously, you can see that I am a Saiva Hindu, but I fully respect my Vaishnava and Shakta Hindu brothers and sisters. Now, there's a 4th sampradaya, if you will, called Smarta, and that's when one incorporates the 3 sampradayas basically into one mandir, one understanding. And you especially see this in the West because we have Hindus that have come from all over. And so the mandirs really have to accommodate everybody. But we can still hold true to our sampradaya while respecting the other sampradayas. Again, in a place like India or other countries, you can have a specifically Saiva mandir. In fact, the Swamis in Hawaii have done that. They have just a very specific Saiva mandir. It's just Ganapati, Murugan, and Shiva, and then they even have just a Shiva Lingam, beautiful hand-carved mandir for just Shiva. So that's one, and that there's a great benefit to that because that can cause great focus, right? But also we have to be careful to avoid a negative sectarianism, which can often happen, whether one is Saiva, Vaishnava, or Shaktite. So I think that's where Smarta comes in, is to try to alleviate any negative sectarianism, because that's happened. I mean, we humans, we get a little bit too emphatic or infatuated with our own way, and we want to push that on everybody else. So Smarta kind of helps to alleviate that, so that's fine. But you can also respect your individual sampradayas. And then we have Nastika. What's Nastika? Well, that's unorthodox. And actually, this is where we find Buddhism, Jain, and Sikh. Because these are really offshoots of Hinduism. If it wasn't for Hindu Dharma, they would not exist. Right? The Buddha was a Hindu. The Jinas, they were all Mahavira, he was Hindu. And Guru Nanak was obviously Hindu. So we look at them as aspects of Hinduism, and they may not look at it that way. Some do, some don't. I mean, some Buddhists fully respect that, they are really coming out of Hinduism. Generally, the Jains are very compatible. In fact, here in South Jersey, we have a mandir. It's called the Hindu Jain Mandir. So no problem. Mahavira is right there on the altar, along with Krishna and Ganapati and Shiva, Durga Ma. And the Sikhs as well. But I've met militants within all of those. Not the Jains. I've met militants within the Buddhists and the Sikhs who say, oh, those Hindus don't have anything to do with them. But remember, if it wasn't for the Hindus and the Sanskrit, you wouldn't have your religion, if you will. So, Hinduism in 5 words: Saiva, Vaishnava, Shakta, Smarta, Nastika. 6 words. These are the Shadashanas. This is an interesting one. Ask those people who are into yoga, because they all, quote unquote, study the Yoga Sutras in a very distorted way. It's been so distorted. Remember, the Saiva Hindu Guru Patanjali was teaching male Hindu renunciate brahmacharis, yogis in training that were renouncing the world. They weren't getting into the world. They certainly weren't creating, hot yoga and power yoga and dog yoga and Kino's yoga and Ashtanga yoga. That's totally false. Right? So we have, in Hinduism, along with our many scriptures, we have 6 orthodox systems of Hindu philosophy. Nyaya, Vaisesika, Mimamsa, Vedanta, Sankhya, and Yoga. The logic of logic, Nyaya. Vaisesika, the objects of logic. Mimamsa are all important rituals and why we do them. Vedanta, the end conclusions of the Vedas. Remember, all you Vedantists, you can't start at the end. You have to start at the beginning. It's Dvaita to Advaita. Don't separate yourselves out. Don't call yourself a Vedantist but not a Hindu. Come on. Then you're falling into the trap of the invaders. Then we have Sankhya, the science of enumeration, and then Yoga, putting it all into practice. Nyaya, Vaisesika, Mimamsa, Vedanta, Sankhya, Yoga. Hindu Dharma in 7 words. The chakras. Muladhara, Svadhisthana, Manipura, Anahata, Visuddha, Ajna, Sahasvara. And actually the yogis speak of 2 others. You got to go to your guru for that. Hindu Dharma in 8 words. Some of the scriptures, right? Vedas, Agamas, Tantras, Ramayana, Mahabharata, Tirukural, Tirumantram, Puranas. Now, except for Tirukural and Tirumantram, most everyone's heard of the other Shastras or scriptures, but in Tamil Nadu, in South India, the Tirukural and Tirumantram are extremely important. So these 8 scriptures. Then we have Hindu Dharma in 9 words. These are the different aspects of Dharma. We have Ritta Dharma, the Dharma of Mother Nature. Dharma means duty. Principles, traditions, what we hold on, what we hold on to. First, Bhumi Mata, Ritta Dharma, Svadharma, your own personal dharmas that you do. Ashrama Dharma, the 4 natural stages of life. Varnashrama Dharma. Remember, Hindus, we should have never used the word caste. Varna means tone. It's just the natural inclinations of any of us. As we fall into one of 4 categories, we like to do labor, craftsmen, hands-on work. Right? We like to do business. That's the Sudra and the Vaishya. We are enjoying being protectors, military, etc., Kshatriyas, educators, Brahmins. So in society, this is what makes all societies work. You find them all. You find all 4 of those in all societies. So we can also, and people generally gravitate towards those, and it should be what they like to do. Obviously, you want a Sudra, somebody building your house, a craftsman, who loves what they do. You want a person who's a warrior, a Kshatriya, to love what they're doing, a teacher, a business person, so they don't become dishonest, and they love what they do. This is the Varna system, the tone, the way you think. But importantly, we have the concept of the Purusha Sukta, because all of us, to one degree or another, and we should, obviously, some people don't want to do labor, but we should do all 4 of these. We should have no problem doing labor. I mean, here, I clean the ashram, clean the bathrooms, run the vacuum cleaner, etc. Help build a lot of it. And we also do the business of keeping ourselves alive. We do balance our checkbook, Vaishya. And we should protect our families and our places of residence, our loved ones. And we also are responsible for educating. If you're parents, you're responsible for educating your children. So in a sense, we do all 4 of those. But in a broader sense, societies are composed of those 4 varnas. So Hinduism in 9 words is Ritta Dharma, Svadharma, Ashrama Dharma, Varnashrama Dharma, then Brahmacharya, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas, Sannyasin. This makes 9. So we're now defining what this ashrama dharma. Ashrama here is a metaphor for the houses that we live in as we go from, in a very natural way, again, you can find this in all societies, in a very natural way, we go from a student, brahmacharya, brahmacharini, to a family person in career, grihastha, to a state of retirement, vanaprastha, to the final preparation for leaving bhumimata, physical death, sannyas. So we all go through that. Hopefully, if we make it that far. Student, family and career, retired, renunciate. And each stage has its important responsibilities. And it's really important that we do each stage to the best of our ability so that the next stage can be fruitful. For example, in brahmacharya, if we don't study, and remember brahmacharya is also celibacy, and if we don't keep celibate, the chances are that we won't have a good job or a good relationship, a good marriage. So think about that. And then as we go through grihastha, which is our longest period, we need to be working diligently and supporting ourselves and supporting mandirs and others. It's the responsibility of the grihasthas to support the sannyasins, those who are older, and then we'll get into what the sannyasin is. And think about it. If you don't work hard and save money, your retirement, vanaprastha, is not going to be very comfortable, if you will. And also you're gaining tremendous knowledge that you need to pass on in the next stage of life when you retire, vanaprastha. Then you need to pass on to others the knowledge you've gained, to the young grihasthas coming up. And financially you may be able to help them as well. And then the final preparation for physical death from in our 70s on, right, is when we should be renouncing all of the outer world, perhaps. Not all of it, but for the most part, we renounce so much of the outer responsibilities, and that's where you younger ones need then to fully respect your ajas and your ajis, your grandparents, your grandmothers, your nanas, your nanis. Fully respect them. You should make their final years truly the golden years. Just take care of them, bow to their feet, give them everything they need and comfort, which they should have done also as they moved up through the ranks, if you will. It's just the way the system works. Don't throw a stumbling block into the system, right? It really is a beautiful system, and it's good karma, right? You're creating good karma as a young student and brahmachari and grihastha by taking care of the elderly, because when it's your time, hopefully they'll be there to take care of you as well. And then the circle of life goes on and on and on. So, then the ninth part is the sannyasin. These are those who, from a young age, choose not to marry. In Hindu Dharma, we have the two margas, if you will. From young, one should choose whether to enter into married life and career or into the religious vocation of the yogi and the swami. Then you remain celibate, you don't have a wife, you don't have a family. But you have tremendous responsibilities, though, because in a real sense, you do go through, even as a sannyasin, you go through the 4 stages. You're first and foremost a brahmachari, a student for at least 12 years. And then you take on kind of a world family. You may travel a lot, travel around the world and teach. Then you may enter into a more retired state where you don't travel as much and you just stay in your ashrams, your mandirs. And then your final preparation for physical death. So in a sense, even sannyasins go through those 4 stages in a different way, because we never marry, obviously, never have children, which is wonderful, because then it gives you great freedom to move around the world and be with many people that you just can't do when you have a family. That's why Hindu Dharma is beautiful, because we've combined the best of both worlds. In Christianity, for example, the Protestants are generally always married, and in Catholicism, they're always celibate. Here we have both, right? If you want to be a married clergy, if you will, you can become a pujari, a pandit. And then we also have our unmarried clergy, if you will, our yogis and our swamis, satgurus, not sadguru. He's completely misused that term. So that's Hinduism in 9 words. And then finally we have Hinduism in 10 words as we bring together the 5 elements and the 5 senses: earth, water, fire, air, ether, bhumi, udaka, agni, vayu, akasha. And then the corresponding senses, they're all in order: smell, taste, sight, touch, hearing. Granaja, rasa, chaksusa, sparana, shrautra. Ye Hindu Dharma hai, das shabd me. So enjoy. Share this with others. as we ever seek to create a united Hindu family and, like Ganapati, stand up for the Hindu yoga Dharma. And if you've enjoyed this, and you'd like to go to our classicalyoga.org, and there's a donate button there if you'd like to help us out. Remember, all true religious teachings and practices are always given on a donation basis. So we thank you very much. And have a joyful day, everybody. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Jai Hindu Yoga Dharma.